Hi everyone, John Clark here. I wanted to go through some big features that are going to be coming to the toolkit later this month over the next couple of weeks, just to give you some insight as you'll start seeing changes come to your account. If you would like access to any of these earlier than the release dates, then I can turn these on for you inside of your account. So a big one here is going to be the new CRM redesign. We'll go through this in a minute, but this is going to be different navigation, allowing you to auto-save contact information as you're updating it, a lot better conversations integration or the navigation there. We're going to look at email AI. This allows you to use AI to create some of your email content or even copy content from other marketers. If you get an email in that you said, I would like to have that same feel or look, you can copy that easily. Email preference management. This allows people to manage their preferences. So if you have different segments that you would like, today we use smart lists, but with email preference management, this allows you to kind of tag different marketing emails that go out. So if they unsubscribe, they would only be unsubscribing from that segment. Canva integration. So this is a great simple integration. We already have a Google Drive integration, but I know for us with Canva, we design everything in Canva. We have to download, re-upload into the toolkit. With a Canva integration, this allows you direct access to all of your Canva designs, so you can easily pull those into your social media and email marketing. And then finally, gift cards. This feature has been kind of brewing in the back end, but this allows you to sell gift cards for your business. Clients can redeem those and use those all through your site as long as you already have payments integrated. This would most likely be on our Grow plan. So with that, let's jump in first to the new CRM redesign. So as I mentioned earlier, smarter navigation and layouts, upgraded conversations that come with advanced filtering, auto-saving contact details, which I think is great because I know for me, I might go in and update a couple of contact fields and then I forget to click save. And so turning autosave on is really powerful. And then you'll see a new navigation or UI around the contact detail page. So let's jump in here. I'm on our demo account here. You'll see definitely a little bit different of a movement or a little bit different of a layout than what you're used to. In the old design, we had this other panel over here that automatically showed activity and things like that. All of that now is a little bit more condensed. Now, if I click on activity, I can see things here. Let's go to a different contact. This one shows a little bit more with a test contact. One thing I'm doing here too is I'm using my left and right arrow key to go back and forth between contacts. So there are some keyboard shortcuts, which are really great. But yeah, so on the right hand side, we've got our activity associations. This would be if somebody is associated with different orders or different custom objects or companies. Tasks are still the same as they were before, but just everything is more along the right hand side. We could see payments if you have payments turned on, any appointments for a contact and things like that. Here we have in the middle, like we always have, our different conversations. We can filter down to the different types. So a lot of times, obviously, your activity feed here in the middle will show appointments, opportunities, all of the things in there. But if I only want to see the appointments and then click away from this, this is only going to show me the appointments that were done for this particular person. Then we'll go back to all, and this will show all the different pieces of information. And so here, this would be sending an email. I don't have texting turned on our demo account, but that's how you would switch back and forth there. On the left-hand side, we have all the contact details, same as before. So your different groups there, not too big of a change there. We can go down to the D&D just to see if anybody is unsubscribed from anything. And then as far as actions go, this is where you would see any of the opportunities that they have created, or you can open those opportunities here in the middle of the screen. If we collapse opportunities, workflows, this is always a big one that we want to make sure is obvious for our clients. Active workflows. If there's an automation or workflow out there that I want to add somebody to, I just click here, search for it, and then it'll automatically enroll them in that automation. Client portal, that's only for our clients that have client portals, so we'll skip that for today. But this is definitely a design change here. You can see all the typical activity feed is in the middle, but if you want to see how they've been moving around your website, any form submissions and things like that, that'll all be on the right-hand side. Let's look at conversations. So in the past, the biggest change here is the filtering. If we are looking at conversations here and we filter, in the past, all you had were like the pre-made filters that you could go down. And now you have the ability to kind of create more advanced filtering. And so you could do it based off of a last message channel. So last message channel is SMS, email, and WhatsApp maybe. And that's all you really care about. You can add your and or filtering here. You might only worry about inbound messages. Maybe again, who it's assigned to, maybe it's particular clients that are tagged a certain way. All of that can kind of be done here. You apply it, and that'll filter down here and that applies across all the different channels, and this should apply for the entire account. So if you have a lot of noise in your team inbox, then you have the ability to kind of manage that. You have the My Inbox, which is going to be anything that is assigned to you. So if you are assigning different contacts and things like that, all of that will come in automatically. You can search across all of, let's go back to the team inbox. You can actually search for messages across all of your message. You can search for actual content within the messages, not just for a name. So if you knew a client was talking about a particular topic or something like that, you could search for that. A new view is basically just a pre-made filter, and then you can go to that. So maybe you want to break it down by different client levels or different tags, things like that. So that way you can kind of pre-create those just like smart filters or our smart lists. Finally, turning on the autosave is a couple clicks, but it's very powerful. So as an admin, if you go to settings and then objects, and then you click on this contacts, this autosave is really powerful. As I mentioned, I'm guilty of updating fields and then forgetting to click save. And so if we go back to our contacts list here, and then click on a name, and then scroll on our all fields, and we just want to change the source to testing, and we escape from there, you can see that it automatically saves it without having to come down here and click on the save button. And for some of you, we've built triggers that happen immediately after one of those fields is saved. And so that could trigger that workflow without you having to remember to click save. So that is the CRM redesign. You can kind of handle that. There's going to be a little bit more details as real messages and things like that come in. The keyboard shortcuts, being able to go and be in between the different clients by clicking your left and right arrow is really powerful. There's a few more that we can add details on, but this is going to be moving faster for everyone. You'll see quicker load times and things like that. And the automatic saving again is a big gain. So that is the CRM design. Now let's take a look at email AI. This is going to allow you to potentially copy other marketing emails as well as AI support for better content within your emails. So if we open up here, we're in the demo account, we go to templates and we click build with AI. This is going to open up a new editor. And essentially very similar with like your chat GBT. One, brand boards, which we can get into. This is essentially similar to your logos and things like that. So let's step back for a second for those of you that aren't aware of the brand boards. The design kit, this is where you can add your different color schemes, and then your brand voice is used for AI. So that way, if you already kind of have your persona, most likely from AI of some kind, if it's exactly what your business does, you can create a brand voice and then add different details on here. You've got all of your different details as far as like your brand name, the type of business you're in, target audience, all of these different pieces. If you use the scraper, it can actually go back and give you, if you type in your website, it'll go through and understand exactly what that brand voice is and grab all the right details. I recommend doing that just because it gets you to where you need to be a lot quicker. So let's go back into email templates and then build with AI. So this definitely works a lot better if you already have your brand voice created. So it knows your different colors and things like that. But you can type in your different pieces here, your business niche, your target audience might be small business owners, and then what is the goal of this email? You're trying, maybe you have a webinar coming up, and then this final one is what are you offering? So it's an announcement. So you can see here very quickly, it says creating an email template for the optimization specialist in the coaching and consulting niche, targeting small business owners. The goal is to now announce an upcoming webinar. And we could add details to that, but let's just click generate email here and it's going to go through. While this is building, one of the other options that you can do is you can take an email that you've received from probably a really good marketer. And if you are able to view that in a website editor, typically whenever you open up an email, the very top line or at the bottom, it would say view online. You could come in here and just say, I want to copy this email template and use my brand voice to accomplish that. And so it'll go and scrape that, it'll regenerate some new images for you, but essentially it will capture the feel and the layout from your favorite email marketer, which is very helpful. And that you can go in and kind of adjust it based off of your particular company. But it gives you a great starting point rather than trying to create everything from scratch. Okay, this took about 2 minutes. Because it does not have our brand board or anything on here. Obviously, this doesn't have our logos, but you can see very quickly this did a great job building a email. It's got a cool background on here. You've got a title overlay with a button. Logo obviously at the top would be replaced by yours, but you got a nice feel here. And if it had my colors, all of this would be inside of my brand colors, things like that. And so this is a great way to kind of get started. So you don't have to create this from scratch. But the nice thing is all of these are still editable components. So you can go back in here and edit all of these. This button we'd obviously want to send out to your registration URL, things like that. And then you can see, typical AI fashion. Here's what I included, things like that. So this is a great way to get started if you don't have an idea, or if you do have an email out there that you really like the layout of, you can get the URL for that and then copy that in here, or you can even just get a screenshot of that email and then attach it and then ask it to do the same thing, which is really powerful. Now, this is included in all plans. This just uses credits just like emails and text messages. So again, in a world of AI where we're trying to get things done more efficiently, I think this is a great help, especially because it automatically goes and grabs images and things like that. Adds a lot of details that I would not imagine myself as I'm trying to build this into a nice marketing email template. And again, if you have your brand board attached to this, it'll replace it with your brand colors and logo, not just a generic overlay. But that is how the AI works. Again, you can start from scratch there, or if you give it an example by attaching a file of a screenshot, or just giving it a URL from a email that you've viewed in browser, then it will be able to copy that and emulate exactly what you're seeing. Next, let's talk about email preference management. So we've all been there where maybe there's different email lists or something from a single vendor that we're signed up for, and maybe we don't want particular content, but we don't want to unsubscribe from their entire list. And so this allows the audience to manage their email subscription preferences, and it basically allows them to unsubscribe from specific marketing material. You can also kind of control those today. Up to this point, we've used tags and smart lists to kind of accomplish this, but this allows them when they click the unsubscribe button to maybe only unsubscribe from certain segments. And so if we go into the toolkit here, this is managed under settings and then preference management. And then we can add our different categories that we kind of want to manage that in. And so the one-on-one is by default. I've added tech tips here, sewing class, we archived that, and then all marketing emails. So if we click on preview, this is very much, we've all seen there of like, oh, how would you like to unsubscribe? And then so they can unsubscribe from one-on-one, tech tips, and all marketing emails. One-on-one is more just the direct emails that might come from different workflows and things like that. And so once that is set up, we'll see a couple of small changes here. So under a contact, first, if we go down to DND and then click on subscription status, we'll see that they have the 3 different items on here. And so we would probably never unsubscribe them from this, but we could see if they were unsubscribed from very specific segments. So I could manually unsubscribe this person from tech tips. We'll just do that. If we subscribe again, it does ask for a legal basis, just so we have exact reasoning. This is to protect from spam more than anything. But where this really comes into play is in our emails. We'll go to our campaigns here. We'll go back to a previously AI generated template. And when we go to click send, you'll send to your typical smart list. You can pick a smart list on here, and you've got like your 6 contacts. And then your preference type here, you can see that we've got like the tech tips and all marketing emails. So with the tech tips, once this is sent out, and we might be able to click this on a preview, if the user was to click unsubscribe, and I don't think this will actually happen in our preview, yeah. If they're to click unsubscribe, it would be unsubscribing them from the tech tips, not your entire list. Or if they click manage preferences, they can also do that. And so the tech tips kind of just, again, keeps that segmented so they're not unsubscribing for everything, especially if you do transactional emails. So some of our clients use this for transactional emails and updates. If people sign up for an appointment or things like that, those you don't want them to completely unsubscribe from. But this is more on your marketing types. And then so maybe they don't want marketing material from you, but they do still want to receive emails. This would be the way to do that. And so just make sure as you're sending your campaign emails or your marketing emails that you go and select a preference type so they're only unsubscribing from that particular type. And then if they do that, you would see that back at the contact level of that versus an entire D&D. So if we click on this again, it would not be completely unsubscribed. They would just be unsubscribed from that tech tips as an example. And that is preference management. Again, under settings, preference management, create your different categories. Also make sure you click show update preferences with unsubscribe and footer. That'll automatically be added so they can either unsubscribe or manage preferences. We've probably all seen those now from different marketers, but this is where you can manage all the preference management. Now let's take a look at Canva integration. This is a small but powerful feature. So with the Canva integration, this just again gives you direct access to Canva designs for your email and social media. So in the toolkit, when we are under media storage, if we click connect Canva, you probably can't see that pop up on your end, but it basically just lets you connect directly to your Canva account. And then from there, you'll be able to select from Canva, and all of your designs inside of Canva would automatically be accessible in here. They're not automatically downloaded, so you'll double click on those and then it'll basically auto import those into your media library so you can immediately insert into emails and social media pieces. You can do that directly. The easiest way to get it started is to go from the media storage. So on the left hand side here underneath your marketing, you have media storage, connect Canva, get that connected. But in your marketing emails, when you are sending those, let's just open one of these again. If I wanted to change this image, I want to add image, that's not a background pattern. In this case, we're going to click replace. We would change this to Canva, and then we would have access to all those, double click on it, and it would auto insert that in there. So again, rather than going to Canva, downloading it, and then re-uploading it here, you have direct access to those. Same thing works for Connect Drive if you're not currently doing that. It's just great the fact that most of us are doing our design inside of Canva. You have direct access to that and can pull that in at any time. Okay, finally, let's look at gift cards. So you can now sell and accept gift cards for your business. This will be available on the Grow Plan or anybody that has payments enabled. So if we go over here to the toolkit, under payments, you'll see this new piece here called gift cards. We create a gift card. We'll just call this demo gift card for now. Description. Let's see, guide recipients how to redeem their gift card. You can add your terms and conditions here so they understand that. Maybe there's no expiry date. This is where you could upload custom artwork. So if you had that stuff kind of in Canva, we'll just use this image for now. Okay, so we need to change the size of this. Let's see. All of these are too big right now, unfortunately. But you'd be able to do that, or we can just create a gradient. Let's just go with that. Why not? You can add all of the denominations that you want. Tax, if you have those. You don't need this. Let's just call it a birthday category. And then you have your different denominations. This is what the gift card would look like, the different values. And then you have this here, and then you'll be able to embed this on your website. You can send these directly to customers, or if you click on sell, it'll generate a link for you, or embed code so people can purchase these, and then you can kind of see exactly what the purchase would look like. I will say that this is the very early stages of this, so this will continue to grow and get better over time. But this has been this has been a feature that many people have been looking for, and so this is coming soon. It allows people to again purchase this for different people, and then you'll be able to see all of the sold gift cards inside of here, and then people can redeem those. They can either bring it with them, or it would be tied to a contact. And after they purchase it, you would have documentation on who has purchased and who hasn't. And so view documentation here gives you this full documentation on exactly what this can look like. A lot more details than what I'm going over here, but just wanted to let everybody know that these are available. So if we go back to the list here, there's a long list of new features that are coming out this month. The new CRM redesign, the email AI, and those two are going to be available those will all be available March 31st. Those will come out automatically. Gift cards are going live on March 23rd. The Canva integration automatically goes live on March 25th. And the email preference management is kind of part of the new CRM redesign. It requires a CRM redesign. That'll be going live around that time too. If you would like access to this any earlier, please let us know and we can enable this in your account. It's just a matter of us switching it on. But just wanted to give everybody a heads up, especially on the CRM redesign, since there is a big UI change there, and give people insight into how to navigate that. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Thank you again for being customers of ours. The toolkit continues to grow. We hope that everybody's getting as much value out of it as possible. And as these features continue to grow, it gives you more tools to make getting in touch with your clients a lot easier.